Hobby Sakura jumped on the 1x4 scale bandwagon in a big way. GNF Toys has a 1x4 scale Nikke figure as well. Kotobukiya wants to do 1x4 scale Nikke figures. And now Amakuni. Hi and welcome back to the channel. I'm Steven with your Megahobby Expo 2025 Autumn Figure Event coverage. This is similar to One Fest but a smaller event. Also twice a year. One Fest is winter and summer. For Megahobby Expo, it is spring and fall. This is the fall season Megahobby Expo. And with this smaller event, usually the main stars are Alter, Megahouse, and Kotobukiya, which is the case again this year. And there are not too many new figures. Half of them are updates from One Fest. So hopefully I can get this over with as quickly as possible. As for my early summary for this event, I think they should rename it as Mega Nikke Expo instead of Mega Hobby Expo. So you already have a rough idea what to expect, but we also have a bunch of Azur Lane stuff. As usual, I have made a compilation and arranged all of the pictures over here in proper order. On the top right corner of this video, you can see the file name, which is the name of the character, sometimes the origin, and also the manufacturer. This image over here, you can see Alter A Gear written on the top right corner. Yeah, that is Alter Azur Lane A Gear. So this is for easy reference. And we shall begin with Alter, of course. We are looking at this A Gear over here where she was announced sometime last year. I think it was last year's Megahobby Expo, though she was still unpainted. Now we have a painted sample and she looks fantastic. In fact, the thing that caught my attention wasn't the figure but pretty much everything else. The sofa and the cloth she's lying on, it looks so realistic. It looks like real cloth to me for some reason, and I am loving every bit of it. I have been taking a good look on the A-Gear figure made by Any Game that just came out roughly a month ago. A very new figure. That one was very affordable. This one is going to cost at least 30,000 yen if not more. But yes, it looks way better. And one more thing about this A-Gear figure is that somehow I always feel like I'm looking at her pointing a middle finger even though she isn't. Hey Alter, give us a separate arm part where she's pointing a middle finger and maybe with a different face as well. That would be awesome. This is something to look forward to. I'm liking this already. Moving on to the next Alter Azur Lane figure, we have a new formidable figure, and I can't see this one surpassing the existing one that has been out for maybe a couple of years by now. That is hands down the best ever figure of formidable ever made, roughly 30,000 yen. There are many other companies who made a figure of this character, but Alter simply nailed it. When it comes to the face expression with the blush and everything, I don't see anyone surpassing it, not even Alter themselves with this new version. This looks a little bit like a wedding dress. I'm not sure what it is. It looks like wedding dress to me. And that vast amount of details on her waist region. Yeah, this thing won't be cheap as well. Maybe 30k as well. Moving up next, we have New Orleans from Alter. This may appear to be a plain bunny figure, but there is a new feature that I have never seen Alter do before. They are planning to do this to multiple Azur Lane figures, and that would be a replaceable torso, the upper half, right? So the only way I can think of how this is doable is that this entire upper part, including the arms, as one single piece, one big block, they need to replace it. So this is going to increase the cost of the figure a bit, and some people will prefer to display this figure with more opai visible, but you know what? I think this one over here, this kind of outfit design, it is a bit less common for bunny figures, and if I were to display her, I would opt for this version over here instead of this one. The hair is also different, but props to Alter for thinking out of the box and giving us a different way to display the same figure. I wonder how much this would cost. I think 25,000 yen is a bare minimum for something like this. Yeah. Paintwork on the hair is outstanding. Look at the shading, right? And all of the lines on the hair. Yeah, this is the kind of detail I love seeing on anime figures. Up next, we finally have a prototype of Shinano. This was announced in the previous event as well, the previous Megahobby Expo. Now we have a grey prototype, and yes, the picture is dark because this picture came from Fixoku. I love taking pictures from Fixoku because their images are higher in resolution, but the bad news is that they don't seem to know how to take pictures. Yeah. Another brighter version over here, this is from Hobby Dengeki. They have brighter and well-lit pictures, but their pictures are very low resolution, so it looks a bit blurry over here. I can't win no matter how. So this is looking pretty good. I'm also guessing between 25 to 30,000 yen, maybe closer to 30, right? And as usual, Alter is spoiling things for third party, just like Apex Toys. Every time a third party comes up with a very hot Azur Lane or Honkai figure, then suddenly the genuine brands would jump in and make the same thing. We don't have many Shinano genuine figures yet. I think there is one. Was it Fat Company or Good Smile, right? Went on pre-order recently. I think it was Fat Company. It was an exclusive. Moving up next. This should come after Shinano, but I left this figure out by accident because I was trying to edit the photograph first before putting it back into my folder, and I forgot. As you can see why, well, she barely has any clothes on. We are looking at Azur Lane Series by Alter, 1/7 scale, and this figure also comes with a bonus part for you to swap out if you are interested in a different faceplate, and from the looks of it, a different pose as well. So this is a nice option to have a set of different arms and a faceplate. I hope that this figure wouldn't be too expensive because this is a very simple figure with barely any clothes on. It has to be the most daring figure yet by Alter in many years, I guess. Yeah. So will you pick up something like this coming from Alter, or will you try to even force cast off the figure? I wouldn't recommend you doing that. Moving up next, we have this new St. Louis figure from Alter. I guess that this is their way of apologizing to you by giving you a full fan service. The Gooners are going to buy this thing up. They're going to eat this thing up. So in case you guys are unaware or you are living under a rock, the recent St. Louis figure that is already out for a few months by now, by Alter, that one has a major quality control issue where there is a defect in the clear coating used on the figure, and as a result, molds will grow a little bit more easily on the figure, specifically the skin region. So this must be Alter's way of apologizing by telling you guys to pay up for another St. Louis figure, but this time around you get a full clear view of her backside. I don't know why they even did this. Why this pose? Like, maybe you are not supposed to look at her face. That is not the main feature, but I prefer the main focus of the figure to be the face rather than the backside. But whatever. People will buy it anyway. So this is a closer up view. Yeah, and it is a dark picture, but I'm not worried about Alter screwing up the face at least, right? They haven't done that in ages already. Next, we have a new Taiho figure from Alter as well. This is very nice. I love the pose, very photogenic. It looks like a professional model posing for photographs in front of a camera. Just that the colors are a bit bland, and I would prefer if they go for the same colors as what Mimayoi did for the 1/4 scale, right? Bright red jackets and then black bikini. That would be way nicer. This figure has the same new feature found on New Orleans earlier, where you get to replace her opai with a slightly different shaped one. On the left, the default display, that is what I prefer once again because it looks more detailed when you have a pair of tight bikinis squeezing the opai. But on the right side, this is a unique way of giving people options. You are getting an alternative opai set where she is wearing a loose-fitting bikini, not squeezing her opai. That is begging for a cast-off. Alter doesn't really make cast-offable figures. Officially, they don't, but sometimes they give you a hidden feature. You are discovering it yourself for the very first time when you buy the figure and unbox it. Oh, the chest is removable, right? Some Azur Lane figures are like that. And I suspect that Alter is giving you guys this option. On paper, it won't be cast-offable, but maybe if you force it off, it is possible. Interesting. But for display purposes, I will still prefer the one on the left. Moving up next, we actually have FGO stuff, only 2 figures, but that is better than 0, I suppose. This is only an update from the previous announcement a year ago. Abigail Williams is finally painted. Though I'm not sure what to think, I'm feeling a little bit conflicted over here because I love figures with bright and vibrant colors. This one, the colors are diluted, they are quite washed out. I get it, that is the color of this character after all, but it is not as attractive in comparison, but at least it is very detailed at the same time. So I'm not sure if I want this figure. In the back of my mind, I just want to add this to my existing FGO collection, but at the same time, yeah, the Nikke stuff in this event are a lot more interesting. So I feel bad betraying FGO. I don't intend to NTR FGO in any way. How much will this cost? Maybe 30k as well. Yeah. 30k or right beneath it, like 27, 28k, roughly that range. I think that is the pricing we can expect for this figure. The next one here, this is a surprise. Wait, did Alter announce this previously? I think they did, right? It was unpainted as well. But we have Soji Okita Alter Final Ascension version from FGO. Okay. So it seems like Soji Okita, the higher the ascension she goes, the smaller her chest becomes. So this one is almost flat, but I'm not complaining because I love my lollies. And the shading on this is quite nice. I already have the Good Smile version. I love that one because of the very, very dynamic pose. This one I may consider because no saber face and the shading work on her looks outstanding. Yeah, I love heavy shading on anime figures in general. Up next, we have Nadia, Fushigi no Umi no Nadia. Yeah, this is a classic. An anime from like 20 years ago, mid-2000s anime. Recently, I'm seeing a bit of resurgence of Nadia, and I'm seeing third parties making stuff. I wonder if there is a remake or a remaster coming soon. I'm not sure because I don't exactly follow anime news. But if Alter is making figures of Nadia and then we have third parties coming in as well, there has to be something happening in the anime industry. Yeah. Not my kind of thing, but people will buy it. 20th anniversary or something like that, I'm not sure. Nadia's Secret of the Blue Water can see in the background. Moving up next, we have Gakuen Idol Master Fujita Kotone. Kotone seems to get a lot of figures nowadays. Back in One Fest, we also had like 3 or 4 different figures of her by other companies. But not too surprising coming from Alter because Alter has been making Idol Master stuff for a long time, right? The pose and everything, this one is also one of the top figures of Kotone. Even though she is only in grey prototype stage, already one of the top figures of her. Alter knows how to make people want their figures. Up next, we have Alter Girls Band Cry. That is a surprise to me. Kawaragi Momoka. Only one character announced so far, but I am going to assume that the entire cast is going to be made into a figure by Alter at some point. Girls Band Cry. I did try an episode or 2, and I can't say I like it. I mean, I loved the animation quality, very crisp, very clear, but at the same time, there is way too much CGI. Unrealistic CGI, yes. So I'm not sure what to think about that series. Maybe I'll give it another chance when I have the time. Moving up next, we have Grand Blue Fantasy Galleon. Wow. This is actually among the best figure by Alter in this entire event. For a very good reason, this thing looks outstanding. The detail, woo. Her eyes are closed. I hope that they give us a second face plate with her eyes open. I would say that it's very likely. So this thing is... Oh, I don't collect Grand Blue Fantasy stuff, but this thing is making me want to buy it. I mean, this game is very famous, has a very loyal fan base, and I did watch the 2 anime seasons, right? The anime adaptation, I did watch it. I did like it as well. And I believe that Apex Toys is also making figures from Grand Blue Fantasy in the recent few months, right? In the previous events like One Fest, they did announce a few. So I'm not sure what is going on. It's a new game, a new sequel coming out. But I love this, man. I love what I'm looking at. Right, moving up next, we have Jogasaki Mika. Okay, I've already covered this in the previous event, already on pre-order for roughly 30,000 yen, so I won't go through this figure again, from Idolmaster Cinderella Girls. Up next, we have, Ana Yanami is winning it big in the world of anime figures. And Make Ine Heroine getting a season 2 is definitely boosting her popularity in the anime figure world even further, right? I'm actually surprised by how many companies are jumping on her. Aniplex, Kotobukiya, Good Smile, everyone's making a figure of her. Not just low budget figures, but expensive premium scale figures. I think I should add a figure of her or two to my collection at some point. Yeah, I love her. I love her antics, her behavior in the anime. It is entertaining to say the least. This one also gets a second option for her left arm over there, a peace sign, or basically eating. She eats a lot. Different faceplate and an additional arm. This time around, I will take this option over the peace sign because the peace sign is so generic, so common. Well, whatever she's holding, it looks like a pink slate. I mean, in grey prototype, it looks like a private part to me. Once it is painted, it will look like a burger, I suppose. I like this. It is a simple figure. Aniplex and I think Kotobukiya, Aniplex and Kotobukiya, I think their Ana Yanami figure is a lot more complex than this one. But I don't hate this one as well because it is depicting her personality from the anime very well. Yeah, she just loves eating. Up next, we have Nikke staff, starting off with Blanc. So I saw you guys complaining about the existing Noah and Blanc figure by Alter, the one that are meant as a set, glued together as a pair. I saw you guys complaining about the face not looking like them at all, and I'm not really sure what to think. I mean, you guys who play the game for real, you guys know more than I do. I'm not going to dispute your opinion over there, but at the same time, how do I even put it into words, man? Like, maybe they're a bit different from the game character design when it comes to authenticity, being loyal to the original character design, the original artwork. But I don't hate it. Like, they still look very good. Yeah, I don't hate the slight difference over there. So it could be a different artist, a different sculptor. They have a different style and they were unable to replicate the game character design 100%, or maybe they have their own unique touch to it and some people like it. I'm not sure. But in short, I don't think they look bad. And the way they are being lumped together, they are posing next to each other, almost hugging each other. They looked great. I did not have much of a complaint on that version. But if you are unhappy about that, then Alter is giving you guys a new figure of Blanc over here, and also Noah. Okay, because they are announced in alphabetical order, the next picture is not Noah. But anyways, we'll get to that in a second. So this one might turn out better. It might be the Blanc and Noah figure that you want, right? The face, maybe they'll fix it in this version. So this character, this pair of characters, sure is getting a lot of figures from many brands. The next figure here is Crown, so Alter is making one as well. There is already a figure of her on pre-order, roughly 22,000 yen. I can't remember the brand, but it was a Chinese brand. Was it Enso Toys? I can't remember. There is a scale of her already out there. Either Otaku Toys or Enso Toys, I think. Yeah, there are so many Chinese brands out there. I can't remember them all. And what Alter is doing it different this time around is 1/5 scale. Why? I mean, yeah, this could be 35 or 37,000 yen. As you guys know, Alter has a 1/6 scale Murasaki Shikibu from FGO, right? The rider class in swimsuit. It is a different scale and odd scale out of all their FGO stuff, and that thing was 36,000 yen or so. Maybe Alter is repeating that by making something that is of a different scale and charging you guys 36 to 40,000 yen. I'm not sure, man. Maybe when the actual figure comes out, I mean the prototype fully painted, they will convince me to get it. Maybe because Alter has a way of making people want their stuff, but at this point, I think I'm leaning towards the Chinese version that is currently on pre-order because her scale will match every other single Nikke figure in my collection. Yeah. I mean, you have every character this size and then suddenly the crown in middle is so tall. I'm not sure, man. Yeah, but I'm happy to see this regardless. Next, oh, Naga from Nikke. And Alter really knows what people want when it comes to fan service, right? I just couldn't stop staring at her hair and her blue skirt. Oh, that is a good dose of heavy shading. Alter knows what I want specifically. I love this kind of shading. I may get this one. Simple figure, yes, but I may get this one. This really tickles my fancy, man. And oh, heavy shading everywhere, even on her brown skin. Look at her knees, man. I want you to pay special attention to her knees over here. It is brown color, different shades of brown color, but in the center, in the middle, it is pink in color. Her knees are swollen because she was on her knees earlier on. Sucking something maybe, I'm not sure. I'll leave it to your imagination. So, the paintwork is outstanding. I'm loving every bit of it. Oh, I am going to get this figure for sure. Right, moving on to the next one. There we go, Noah. Right, a pair with that Blanc figure earlier. Looking good. And at least this time around, she comes with her rifle. To me, Nikke means pretty girls with guns, right? So I'm happy to see this as well. Just that if I were to proceed to get the existing one by Alter, and then Hobby Sakura might make a 1x4, and then this again, oh my god. I need to start making more money somehow. Up next, Alter has also announced a scale figure of Privati. So the current figure of her available is the 1x10 scale low budget figure from Hobby Sakura. Not yet on pre-order, but I would say very soon. Finally, we are getting a proper 1x7 from Nikke, from Alter, I mean. And I'm looking forward to it. Yeah. Will they follow this image over here exactly, or they will do their own thing? I'm not sure. Up next, Scarlet. Everyone is making a figure of her. We have 1x4 scales once again from Hobby Sakura. And then I think GNF Toys has a 1x4 of her as well. 1x10 scale from Hobby Sakura again. Oh man, so many options and I'm not sure how to choose, but this specific version over here, I like it, right? If they were to follow this artwork exactly, okay. That is a very strong, a very strong inclination for me to go for this version by Alter. I mean, among the 1x7s, of course, 1x4 and 1x7, they are two separate things to me, right? Among the 1x7s, I think this one is in the front runner for me to choose over other options out there. Up next, we have Soda. Okay, this Soda looks a bit bland. But, you know, it is just the bunny girl figure in the end. I'm not sure if I will pre-order it early. Maybe I would wait until after release before considering. Just like Alter's Nikke Viper, the bunny version that just came out literally a week ago. That was a figure that I wasn't showing much interest, even though it is a Nikke figure, because it was very simple. But depending on what kind of deals I can find or what I feel like buying on the spot when a figure is in stock, I might pick one up after release. So that is the case for Soda over here. She will be getting a second face piece according to this image over here, though we are not seeing anything yet. Like, these two are the same face expressions. The mouth is slightly different though. Or maybe this is the second face expression. It is too similar to the default one. Yeah, the mouth is slightly different. I would prefer something a lot more contrasting, a lot more different than the default faceplate. Up next, we have Tia from Nikke. Once again, I'm not sure if they will follow this original character art or they will do their own thing once again. There is always that possibility. Alter loves to go their own ways when it comes to sculpting an anime figure. Up next, we have Viper from Nikke. Now, this is more like it. No, the current one, the bunny version, is a bit too bland. Now, this is a Viper figure that I will want, but she is in sitting pose. Alter has to give her something to sit on for sure, whatever that is. So this is something to keep an eye on, right? Plenty of details to enjoy on this figure. Up next, we have Overlord. has to be 1/8 scale, even though it is not mentioned over here. Sobin version, right? The existing Sobin version figures by Alter, they are all 1/8. This is CZ2128 Delta. So an announcement for now, and this has to be the grey prototype. Up next, we have Overlord Yuri Alpha, also Sobin version, 1/8 scale. Alter is really committing to this lineup of Overlord figures, right? Other brands, they are just spamming albedo and occasionally shell tier, but nice to see Alter going for every character in Overlord. This is quite detailed, all of the spikes around her arm, yeah. Up next, we have Toho Project. Yeah, Alter is continuing their 1/8 scale Toho series. This is Hakure Reimu. Yeah, we couldn't see much because the picture is quite dark, right? And then we have Kirisame Marisa as well, 1/8 scale. Going to cost 30k if not higher than that. Yeah. Oh. I don't want to touch Toho stuff. It is expensive and I suppose that the character designs are not my kind of thing, but yeah, the fans are going to be very happy with this. Up next, okay, closer up picture. I must have saved 2 pictures because the figure is so detailed. A closer up look would be nice, you know. Up next, we have Toho Projects Reisen Udon Gain Inaba. Okay. I never knew this character existed. Because I don't see any of her other figures, and I believe that in this case, this illustration over here, this is what Alter is going for. It is detailed enough and she will blend in nicely with the existing Toho figures. Next one here, Toho again, Yamemaru Aya. This one I like. They are going to spam the details on her wings, doing heavy shading and so on. And this may cost like 35 or even 40,000 yen if they include everything in this image, including the tree base. Yeah. Looking great. Illustration by Reeh, R-E-E-H. Up next, okay, Uma Musume now. This is Aston Machan. Alter's Uma Musume figures, they are also very nice, you know. Like, there are so many choices. We have Good Smile, we have Fat Company of Kotobukiya. Everyone are making figures of Uma Musume. And Alter, I love them for their paint work. Second option. Okay. She is holding a figure or a doll of her. I think that is more like a plushie, right? A plushie of her. The face appears to be the same, but the 2 arms are different. Okay, that is a nice option. Here we have Gentil Donna from Alter. Uma Musume again. I don't really have much comments otherwise because I'm trying to avoid Uma Musume, right? There are too many things to buy. It is not like I don't like the character designs, but not enough money for everything. Rice Shower again. I believe they already have a Rice Shower figure, right? One that I actually kind of wanted, right? She's holding, was it a mask? Something like that. I thought that figure looked very artistic in pose. I kind of wanted it. Because Uma Musume is like one of the big game titles that is popular, and I kind of want a figure of her. Just like, how do I even describe this? Just like I want a figure of Razorine Stout for the same reason. It is an icon. Yes, I was looking for the word. It is an icon in the world of gacha gaming from Japan, right? Characters like Razorine Stout, Rice Shower from Uma Musume, what else? Saber from the Fate series and so on. It is an icon in the world of anime figures, so I kind of want one, just for the sake of it. This Rice Shower, this is like the lolly version. I'm not that big of a fan, even though I love my lollies. I prefer the current one that is already out. Up next, we have Smart Falcon from Uma Musume, also by Alter. And this would be the last figure from Alter in this event, quite a lot, but the biggest brand in this event is actually Kotobukiya. Up next would be Amakuni. So this figure of Tokisaki Kurumi swimsuit version from Dead Alive 5. This one was the same thing from One Fest, so I want to go into detail again. No changes since 3 months ago. The next one here, Nikke stuff again. Amakuni is also going all in with Nikke. We have Exia Hacker Rabbit. And the difference between Amakuni and Alter is that Amakuni tends to follow the official character art. So this image over here is most likely what you're getting. They won't do any extra or try anything fancy like a different pose, right? And then we also have Folk Wang Moist Rabbit. This is perhaps the glossiest, the shiniest figure in this entire event. She is very shiny. If you look for other pictures of her in MFC, for example, and then some of you told me in my Discord server that, yeah, that is her trademark. She is always sweating. Fine, she is always sweating, but you know what? That doesn't look like sweat to me. That looks like lube. The kind that JAV actresses buff themselves in to make themselves look hotter than usual. It looks like lube to me, not sweat. But I'll still take it anyway, because it is so shiny. It is so bright, brighter than my future, so why not? I'm looking forward to getting this one, even though it is just a bunny figure. Yeah, because the paintwork is outstanding. You can see all of the heavy shading right on her bunny suit and her stockings. So many different shades of blue color, brown color, and so on. Yeah. Up next, we have Guilty Wave of Disbelief from Nikke. Guilty. So I'm also looking forward to this one because there is one Guilty figure out on pre-order by GNF Toys, if I remembered correctly, and I am not liking that version for some reason. I think her face looks a little bit dark. It is like there is a black hole on her face. Maybe the paintwork on her brown color hair is not reflective, or it is very dark and then it is sucking all the lights in and her face looks darker than usual. So I'm looking forward to see what Amakuni does with this figure of Guilty. Up next we have Lita from Nikke. So I love my lollies. I'm looking forward to this one. The addition of that dog next to her, I'll just call it a dog, that mecha dog over there. Science fiction, my kind of thing. So this is like a very techy character, I assume. She is always in front of a computer or in a workshop repairing robot stuff, right? We have the hacker character earlier in front of a computer, and this one is like the mechanic girl, fixing things or inventing things. I love it. And then here we have Ludmilla, no updates, the same thing from One Fest. Next one here, this is a 1x4 scale of Rapi from Amakuni. Year 2025, it may be the worst year for anime figure collectors for various different reasons, but this has to be the year of the resurgence of 1x4 scale figures. Hobby Sakura jumped on the 1x4 scale bandwagon in a big way. GNF Toys has a 1x4 scale Nikke figure as well. And then there are a bunch of other Chinese brands doing the same thing. Now you're telling me Kotobukiya wants to do 1x4 scale Nikke figures. Yes, Kotobukiya. And now Amakuni. And all of them are Nikke stuff. Freeing needs to do a lot better than this. No, they're low budget bunny figures. Otherwise, they are in big trouble with all this competition by next year in 2026. Will I get this one? Very unlikely. The Rapi figure that I want is the one by Hobby Sakura. No. Was it Rapi again? The one with the rifle in an action pose. Yeah, I want that figure so badly. That is like #1 ranking in my most wanted list. Up next, we have Sakura from Nikke as well. This must be a normal scale. No mention of scale over here, so it should be a 1x7. For a bikini and swimsuit figure looking plenty detailed as well. I'm looking forward to this. Up next, we have Viper from Nikke. Which Viper figure should I get, man? The Ultra one or the Amakuni one? Man, it is beginning to become a big mistake for me to show any interest in Nikke. Nikke is becoming as big as Azur Lane itself. Up next, we have Fantasy Star Online 2 ES, Eftal, and Hall Seat. I think one of them is already on pre-order, right? Or both are already on pre-order. They just displayed the figure in the event for some reason. Next one here, Sarashina Ruka from Rental Girlfriend. Yeah, they have 3 Chizuru figures currently on pre-order, the one I just covered 2 days ago, in the same One Piece Speedo swimsuit of some kind. Now they are putting Ruka in this same Speedo swimsuit, and blue color suits Ruka so much better. If I were Kazuya, I would rather date Yuka and forget about Chizuru. Yeah, and that would be the end of the series Rental Girlfriend. She's not exactly the nicest girl. She is, in a way, forcing herself on a guy that is not interested in her. Toxic behavior in a way. But she is cute and she is a barely legal JK. Hehe. So, better in a way. Younger is better. Cough, cough. Now, I shall remind you guys that the legal age in Japan is 16, not 18. So, it is perfectly legal for them over there, right? In my country, the age is also 16, not 18. Moving up next, Taimanin RPGX Akiyama Rinko. Is this already on pre-order? It is, right? Yeah, they just displayed the figure in the event. I love this series. I love the characters, but no money for it. As usual, man, that glossy bodysuit is so attractive. That was the last Amakuni figure, not too many. This is from Amiami themselves. I wonder who is making this figure for them this time around, right? I need to find out. So this is Janus from Azur Lane. Paintwork is looking very good, right? Heavy shading all over the place. The figure industry seems to know what I want nowadays. And at least we are getting something for the base, right? That is like cobblestone surface to see on the streets, which is nice, but the color is a bit too dark though. Up next, we have Dogo. Yes, Ami did announce this, right? This thing over here. So now they have the prototypes. A meme figure which will sell. And that is all for Ami stuff. Now we move on to Aniplex and Claynel. Not many as well. So this figure was announced in an illustration in One Fest. Now we have a prototype of Chisato and Takina from Licorice Recoil. Looking really nice. But I would imagine this thing would cost over 40,000 yen. And that may be an understatement. If they say 50k, I wouldn't be surprised either. But we really need a season 2 of Licorice Recoil. I loved the season 1. Up next, Ana Yanami again from Makeine Heroine, cleaning the pool from the looks of it. Swimsuit version. I still like the altar version earlier because she's eating. Next up, we have A-Gear. This is by Claynel now. So, Aniplex only 3 figures earlier. That is it. This is Azur Lane A-Gear from Claynel. Looks like Race Queen outfit to me. I would prefer the one by Apex Toys or Good Smile Arts Shanghai, already on pre-order for a few months by now. This is more of a nice addition to your existing collection. You already have the Good Smile or the Apex Toys version, then you add this one to existing collection if you like A-Gear a lot. That is the way I see it, right? Race Queen version. Up next, we have Blue Archive Jomae Saori from Claynel. Now, this is the Jomae Saori that I really like. There is already one, was it Wing Company? Wearing a sports jersey, I think, with a cap on. Was it Wing Company? On pre-order already. But wedding dress and a big ass rifle. Hell yeah. Crashing a wedding in a big gun. Reminds me of Girls Frontline stuff a bit. Up next, we have Claynel Maruzensky from Uma Musume. Everyone wants to make Uma Musume stuff. And here is the second picture. This is like the official picture released by the brand Claynel itself. And then this is what we saw at the event. Something like that. I saved both pictures so that you guys get a nicer look, right? And then we have Mayano Top Gun. Just an announcement from Claynel. Claynel as a brand, they make excellent figures. So you shouldn't hesitate if you see a figure you like from them, pre-order it. And this would be Mihono Bourbon from Claynel as well. So with Mihono Bourbon, this is a bit tough because to me, the Good Smile version is the best one. And that one is getting a re-release, right? So I would make the Good Smile version my priority. 25,000 yen plus plus, not too expensive. The pose is also a lot more dynamic. Yeah. Next one here, okay. Official picture of Mihono Bourbon. And that is all for Claynel. Up next, Design Coco. This is the same announcement as One Fest. Original character art by Torida Mono. Nothing new over here. The next one here, we have Azur Lane Raphael. I believe the same announcement from One Fest as well. Nothing new once again. Up next, Blue Archive Chiaki. Same thing. No new stuff from Design Coco. And then, this is new. This should be new, I think. Design Coco, did they announce any Nikke stuff in One Fest 3 months ago? Goddess of Victory Nikke Arcana. my life will be very difficult by next year because there will be other brands jumping on the same character, right? And then you have to choose. This would be Viper, 1x4 scale from Design Coco. You heard that right. 1x4 scale Viper. I won't pre-order early. I mean, there are too many stuff, man. I can't possibly pre-order everything. It is more of, I would say, impulsive purchases. That month, I have additional budget and then on the spot, I decide what to buy based on what is in stock. I think this would be the approach I would go for with Nikke stuff. Looking good. I love the pose over here, taking a selfie. Very relatable. Up next, Design Coco Idolmaster Gakuen. Or Gakuen Idolmaster. Okay, the entire Re-Iris members will be made into a figure, also from One Fest, nothing new. And finally, Wondering Witch Elena, also from the previous event. So, Design Coco showed up in Megahobby Expo only to display the same things all over again. Only that 1x4 scale Nikke figure is new. Up next, we are looking at Golden Head Plus. The first figure here, Kuromi Serika from Blue Archive. Finally, there is a prototype of her. Yup. That angry face over there is so adorable. Up next, we have Kyogoku Satsuki, the same thing from One Fest, nothing new over here. And KOF 15 Blue Mary, same thing. Shermie as well. Yeah, nothing much from this brand. Next brand would be Kadokawa, FGO Anastasia Nikolaevna Romanova. She is now painted, right? 3 months ago, she was still in grey prototype, looking really good. I already have an Anastasia figure. I reviewed it on this channel, the one by Kotobukiya, the Caster version. This one, maybe. Just that, you know, my money is all being eaten up by Nikke. I can't spare enough for FGO. The next one here, Archer Durga. I'm very happy to see this. It was already announced previously, but this would be the first time we get to see the actual figure. And I'm pleased to see her because, you know, we keep getting Saberface figures over and over. And many of the other characters, they get neglected. So this is a nice addition to the FGO lineup in general. Wow, that blood base over there. Is it blood? Looks like blood to me. Her face is a bit too shiny. Maybe the figure is not complete yet. They haven't added the clear coating on the figure, but the skin looks a bit shiny over here, at least on the face region. Yeah. Right, moving up next, Nandorite, the only Nandorite from Kadokawa, Beta, from Kage no Jitoryo Kusha, yeah, the Eminence in Shadow. Up next, we have a few action figures, not action figures, plastic model kits. These are plastic model kits. You need to assemble them. You need to paint them, presumably. They are partially pre-painted. So, Kana Arima over here. And then we have... Oh, we have more later on. The next figure is Love Live Days 15th Anniversary Ayase Ellie. This one is already on pre-order on Amiami and exclusive. Kadokawa exclusive. And then they are planning to make more characters over here, as you can see. I don't remember the name of the other two characters. I did not name the file. My mistake. So I would imagine all three to be available in limited places. Amiami is one of them. Up next, the original Love Live series, the Muse Band, is getting figures from Kadokawa, as you can see over here. Yes, because the older Love Live installments are so much better. Muse Master Race, the latest one, is so terrible in character design. So far, they only have Honoka in figure form. The others are just acrylic standees because they don't have anything to show yet. I wonder if older Muse figures from Alter will increase in value. Their values dropped, right? Because over time, people lose interest. So you can find one, the Alter ones, for half the normal price in places like Mandarake if you are lucky. Now that Muse is making a comeback of sorts, will their value go back up? Up next, okay, more pictures. Yup, they only have acrylic standees for the rest of the members over here. Up next, we have Mai Sakurajima. Yeah, plastic model kit once again. Oh, two versions over here, the bunny version as well. And Marin Kitagawa from My Dress Up Darling by Kadokawa. I can't say I like this. It looks a little bit low effort, you know. And her face may look a little bit weird, you know. The face is elongated. And I can't be sure if this is the fault of the camera lens. Too early to judge in my opinion. Based on how the background of this image looks, it does seem like the picture was taken with a wide angle lens, and that would distort the facial features of any anime figure. But still, I can't say I like this version, but her face looks pretty good on the makeup department. Up next, we have, okay, Holo. What the heck, man? This was announced in the previous event. Now they give her an acrylic standee. Where is the actual figure? Holo from Spice and Wolf. And then we have Slayers, Lina Inverse. Interesting. Slayers is such a classic that even I myself has never watched the anime adaptation before because I'm not old enough. This is from the 1990s and early 2000s. There were like 4 or 5 seasons of it. Yeah, a classic old school anime. Interesting that it is getting a figure. Perhaps the entire cast will get figures from Kadokawa at some point. And then Suzumiya Haruhi. I used to like this series a lot. Yeah, during my earliest days into anime, my first 2 years, I liked Suzumiya Haruhi. And I believe Kadokawa already has multiple figures of her out there on pre-order or already released. And then more announcements over here. Yeah, the same holo figure. We have Haruhi, we have Shana. I just love Shakugan no Shana. I'm happy to see that. And then on the bottom row, we have Aisaka Taiga on the right. And then the 2 dudes are from Durarara. Also quite an old anime by now, but it was fairly popular back then. Durarara. Okay. Up next, we have Alisa Mikhailovna Kujo, right? What was the full name again? The file name is too long over there. So from this anime, which we are getting a season 2, some Russian girl was transferred to Japan, right? Something like that. Was it transferred or born in Japan? But she has a Russian parent. Looking very nice. And that shiny outfit. Oh. And that would be all for Kadokawa. The next one here is Kotobukiya. Kotobukiya wants that Azur Lane money. They couldn't resist it anymore. So this has to be their first Azur Lane figure, I think. Fritz Rumi from Azur Lane. And this is made by Kotobukiya for once. This would be very nice for those of you who love feet. Nice feet in general. This does not look cheap. Maybe 30,000 yen. Yeah, if not more than that. Up next, we have Hindenburg from Kotobukiya as well. Are there any genuine figures of Hindenburg so far? I can't remember any. Was it Apex Toys or Alter? No, I don't think they have any yet. Yeah. Up next, this is a weird one because this figure is already on pre-order, already painted. So I have no idea why Kotobukiya decided to display an unpainted version in Megahobby Expo. It is so weird. Yeah. Art by Luisant Alicia Velfelto, original art character. Next one here we have Agnes Claudel from The Legend of Heroes, Eiyo Densetsu, 1/8 scale, grey prototype, classic caster character or healer character, I assume. I did not play the game, obviously. And this is the official picture from Kotobukiya. Brighter and clearer. Next up, they have also announced figures of Alisa Reinfeld and Laura Arsaid. Yeah. I don't think I'm pronouncing the names correctly. Pardon me for that. Up next, we have Girls France Line 2 Exilum SPAS 1-2. I'll call it SPAS 1-2, right? Or SPAS 12. Looking great. Bikini version. And I'm liking the base more than the main figure as usual. And then there is the metal box. She is leaning against maybe ammo storage. I'm not too sure, but I'm liking it regardless. And this is the actual figure on display in the event. Dark pictures. Up next, also Girls France Line 2 Exilum. We have Springfield. Official pick and what was available for display in the event. At least Girls France Line is getting a little bit of a renaissance, you know. They are back kind of because, you know, GF figures, right, Girls France Line figures, they are not doing well at all. They are bargain binning everywhere you look. 40-50% off. And I can only assume that the popularity is on a huge decline. Contributing to that, people are losing interest, they have excess stock, and they needed to get rid of it. Regardless of whether it is in Japanese websites or even on Taobao in China, yeah, they are being discounted very heavily. Maybe the sequel over here will make things a bit better, but I'm not sure by how much. Because I don't see many people talking about this installment. Yeah. Girls Frontline 2 Vector as well. I don't dislike the character designs from this game, just that somehow, they are not as big as other games, other gacha games out there. Up next, we have Higa Sutsuzi from Hibiwa Sugiredo Meshi Umashi, an ongoing seasonal anime. I think by now should have finished airing, right? That title is very familiar. I think I saw it in anime websites. And then there is the actual figure, and also the other girl over here from the same series, Kawaii Mako. Frying pan for some reason. Yep. No comments from me. I am not going to spend big money on seasonal anime characters. Up next, we have Hololive staff, Murasaki Shion. This is looking fabulous. Very detailed. Kotobukiya is doing great work with Hololive figures, you see. They keep coming up with many of them and they sell out. They become rare and expensive and then they come up with a version 2. We saw that with Nakiri Ayame, for example. Another picture of Murasaki Shion. Speaking of the devil, there we go. Nakiri Ayame, I think Kotobukiya has a version or 2 already out and they were rare and expensive. So this new version is looking fantastic. So why not, right? You missed out on the previous release. Don't fret about it. Don't pay aftermarket prices for the previous version. Just go for the newer version. And that is the thing I like about Kotobukiya. Sometimes they just don't lazily re-release an existing figure 5 times over. They just come up with a new version. A completely new figure. I like this approach. Yeah. Next up, we have Idolmaster 20th Anniversary version Amami Haruka. This is like the original Idolmaster. Interesting. Just that I'm not too sure what to think about the base behind her. All the arrows. Yeah. The Stongs meme, you know, everything is going up. Up next, we have Idolmaster Gakuen, Katsuragi Lichya. Is it Lichya? Lilja. Lichya, right? Man, I'm so bad at names in general. And Katsuragi is the one on top, not the one bottom. The one bottom, you can see the name right there. Temari Sukimura, I think. Yeah, this one right here. They have a prototype. You know, the thing with idol outfits, right? The kind of designs they come up with, I prefer Idolmaster outfits over Love Live ones. They are very creative. Like, what is up with this piece of fishnet surrounding her waist? It does not make much sense other than to make the character look good, but it looks good. That is the whole point. So sometimes I actually am kind of impressed with the kind of ideas the illustrators can come up with for character designs, especially the outfit design. Yeah. Up next, we have Kanan Samawa Akumade Choroi. Yeah, Kanan. Max Factory has a figure of her, announced in one fest, different pose. And then now Kotobukiya is making a different version of it. Which one will you go for? By default, I would choose the Max Factory one, a better brand. But Kotobukiya is fairly solid nowadays as well. Up next, Ana Yanami from Amakuni Heroine. I can't say I like the base, it looks a bit too random, but it makes the figure looks like she's floating in mid-air, levitating pose, so some people like that. Me, I'm neutral about it. I mean, as a display, it looks nice, but for photography, it is a nightmare. Yeah. The good thing about this figure is that it is likely to be much cheaper than the Alter one. I don't see this figure going beyond 20,000 yen. Hopefully she doesn't, yeah. If she goes for more than 20k, I think I would rather opt for other brands like Alter. And this is the actual figure on display in the event, looking solid though. Up next, we actually have Mushoku Tensei 2 Seal Fiat Grey Rat as Fates, right? Pretending to be a boy in Season 2. I did not expect this from Kotobukiya, or any brands for the matter, because basically she is pretending to be a boy, which means not as hot, not as... yeah, you get the point. So this is a surprise to me. Up next, okay, actual picture of the figure, and what is up with that huge thick base? It is like they are trying to make the figure look bigger for no reason by making the height appear a lot taller on paper, but we know that it is fake. You know, that height, that base over there should be adding at least 5 centimeters to the figure. Up next, 1x4 scale Anis. Previously, it was an announcement. Now we have a grey prototype. fantastic. I'm loving it. And will I get this figure? I think it depends on the price. I am not getting the free-ink one because the pose is bland. She's just standing there, you know. Yeah, official character art after all. If Kotobukiya can get the price down to a very reasonable level, like not too expensive, I will give this a serious look. Yeah, very convincing. And not to mention, Kotobukiya is known for offering very competitive prices with anime figures. So I am very hopeful that this one will not cost too much. You know, sitting pose figures like this, even at 1x4 scale, they don't really feel very big. And the box and packaging, they are all very reasonable sizes in general. Moving up next, okay, the same announcement from the previous events in One Fest. Oh no, not One Fest. Kotobukiya collection, right? Back in February, that was half a year ago, they announced this figure of Little Mermaid. No updates yet, but Hobby Sakura is placing theirs on pre-order this coming week. And that is something that most likely I will pre-order early instead of waiting for Kotobukiya. Up next, we have 1x4 scale Soda. Yeah, once again, plain bunny girl for sure, but I'm kind of leaning towards this one instead of getting the one by Alter earlier at 1x7. Once again, it is all about pricing. It all depends on that. This one looks very good, even though she's not yet painted. Yeah. Moving on to the next one here from Fantasy Star Online 2ES with Annette. So if you don't like the one by Amakuni or you missed out on the pre-order window, you can get the one by Kotobukiya. Looks very nice. I love it, in fact. And then this is the actual figure at the event. And of course, with Annette, we get Genie, right? Genie in swimsuit version. Though admittedly, Amakuni's version looks a lot better. This one, the paintwork is a lot more flat, like matte finish, not flat. Yeah, so the figure does not look as shiny, as striking as the one by Amakuni, which looks very glossy on the outfit. Which one is better? I wouldn't say one is better than the another. This is purely personal preference. And the actual figure at the event. Yeah, there is some distortion on her head, wide angle lens. Up next, we have Shugochara Amulet Heart. Yeah, Kotobukiya is doing Shugochara series. Recently, one figure just went on pre-order, right? 2 days ago, I covered that one. And I did upload. Yeah, there we go. Kotobukiya displaying an unpainted sample for reasons I don't know. Hoshina Otao from Shugochara already on pre-order this past week for around 20,000 yen or so. That base is so recognizable. Up next, we have Silent Hill Star from Kotobukiya for some reason. It looks nice, but it looks creepy at the same time. Yeah, Silent Hill stuff. No comments from me. Up next, we have Trigun Stampede. Yeah, I did not save the name of the character into my image over here. Millions Knives Trigun Stampede as well. And then we have Nicholas D. Wolfwood. We have the name Wood, and then we have the alphabet D. I wonder if that is intentional. And then we have, yeah, Vash the Stampede from Kotobukiya. If you don't like pop-up parades, I think there are pop-up parades, then Kotobukiya is giving you scale figures. Up next, Uma Musume again. Man, Uma Musume is doing very well, competing with Nikke in terms of the number of new figures in this event. Tokai Teiyo from Uma Musume, alternative faceplate, but that has to be Kotobukiya Online exclusive, right? Yeah, I hate that. Dark Pictures again, and then we have Unicorn Overlord, Melisandre. I know nothing about this game, but I love their character designs. This looks fabulous as well. Yeah. The shading on her outfit. In my opinion, this looks like Little Red Riding Hood with a sword. And the next character, same thing. Buleta from Vampire the Night Warriors. This is like Little Red Riding Hood, but modern America version. This is your typical average American school starter pack. Back to school package. Up next, we have Vocaloid Yuzuki Yukari from Kotobukiya. This is a bit random. Does Kotobukiya make Vocaloid stuff? Not that often, right? They don't even make that many Mikus, if any at all. Yeah. And the actual figure at the event, Are there figures of her already? I think there are scaled figures of her already, but they came out years ago. And we have this Yakuza dude again from Kotobukiya. Must be a 1/6 scale. And Yu-Gi-Oh stuff. Black eyes. No, not black eyes. Blue eyes white dragon. Buster Blader number 1. Looks kind of nice actually. And then Yu-Gi-Oh as well. The actual figure at the event. And then we have Jonochi Katsuya from Yu-Gi-Oh! Official picture. And then Kaiba Seto, the official picture and the actual figure at the event. Followed by Kujaku Mai. I wasn't aware that Kotobukiya was making so many Yu-Gi-Oh stuff. I know that Amakuni has been doing it, but not Kotobukiya. And then we have Yumiya no Atelier, Yumiya Lisfeld from Kotobukiya again. This is the last figure from Kotobukiya. What outfit is that? I can't really tell. I think it is like transparent shirt with lingerie underneath from the looks of it. Yeah, we need that fan service, otherwise nobody would buy the figure. So that is all for Kotobukiya. Now we move on to Megahouse, Aikatsu and Prepara the movie Manaka Lala. Yeah, I saw the movie, a little bit of it, not my kind of thing. And then we have Aikatsu and Prepara again, Ozora Akari. It feels like watching something for children, if I have to be honest about my early impressions about Aikatsu and Prepara in general. And then we have Apocalypse Hotel Yachiyo. Yeah, the anime just finished airing, I think, this week, right? The last episode was this week. I did not watch it. And then this is Code Geass CC 1/3 scale. 60,000 yen. There is already a price. 60,000 yen. So pre-orders should be opening maybe this week. Yes, it is a freeing figure, but at the same time, whenever we see something where the IP is being held by Bandai, then Megahouse would get involved. So in a way, it is also a Megahouse figure. And then we have something from Dan Dadan. Yup. I don't know his name. I did not name the file properly because I'm biased. I don't care about male characters that much. This thing actually glows in the dark. For some reason, I feel like I'm looking at something made of hot glow. Yeah, I can't say I like it. Dragon Ball again. Goku, right? On the motorcycle. And then what else do we have here? Okay. Megahouse Gundam Girls Generation with a few announcements over here. This is Matilda Arjan from Gundam G. Very random. Like, female characters from some of the older Gundam series, they are not very attractive, but I suppose that the hardcore fans will still buy them. Ren Mikamura from Gundam G. Now, this is something people will buy. 1/4 scale, B-style, freeing Barney, but Megahouse, no, Gundam stuff. And then this is Dukes Murasame from Gundam G-Cukes. Yeah, G-Cukes. I would settle for the girl behind her, the main character, because she has a very nice pissed off face, right? If I buy a figure of her, it is for that pissed off face, and then I don't care about other characters. And then up next, we have Gundam Geist Generation, I think. I don't know his name over here, the captain we saw in Gundam G-Cukes. And then we have Gundam Hathaway's Flash, Gigi Andalusia. This is a really nice figure of Gigi. I have a prize figure of her, and the reason I bought her is because she is one of the ugliest Gigi figure ever made. Yeah, it was for lols, for laughs. Up next, we have Kagali Yula Ata from Gundam Seed. Yeah, Seed Freedom version. I love this movie. And followed by Kira Yamato and Atron Zala from Gundam Seed Freedom. All of them will be made into figures under the Gundam Girls or Guys Generation series. And then we have 1/4 scale, Freeing and Megahouse B-style Luna Maria Hawk. I love Luna Maria, but this dress over here, it looks random to me. It doesn't look like something she will wear, but whatever. And then we have Roxy Migodia with that, with that face in that image over there. There are so many memes based off that face on the internet. I wonder what... Oh, okay. It is written on the image, Melty Princess. Okay, which means this is a low-budget figure, around 8,000 yen. I'm not keeping my hopes up anymore. That is disappointing. And then up next, we have Melty Princess series, Oyama Mihari from Onichan wa Oshimai. Yeah, the dude became a female when he woke up one morning. Okay, we have One Piece POP Nami. This is a nice figure. And also Boa Hancock. No, Nico Robin. Man, how can I call her Boa Hancock? The paintwork is outstanding. The heavy shading and everything. I'm loving it, right? Just that I don't want to collect One Piece stuff. And then this is from Sakamoto days. I did not name the file again. Must be around 23,000 yen, 1/8 scale, I think. They are non-scale on paper though. Next one here, Michinoku Komaro from the Student Council has holes. I like the one by Fats Company, already on pre-order. I think it was Hadaka apron and she was putting on or taking off socks, right? Yeah, that one was really nice. Next one here, we have Hatsune Miku collaboration with Gundam again. I'm not sure what Gundam is this, but it is a Gundam collab. And this won't be cheap because Gundam IP and Vocaloid IP, this would be 30k and up, I think. Yeah. Up next, we have Q-Skill. That was all for Megahouse. The last brand for this event is Q-Skill, Atelier Raizatri, Razorlin Stout wedding dress version. Very dark picture, I know. Razorlin Stout, I wouldn't buy her in wedding dress. I would prefer her in her default outfit, right? And there are so many choices out there. Up next, the Blue Archive Wakaba Hinata. This one is looking nice. I love it. Yeah, nun outfit. Not exactly nun, but I feel like I'm looking at a nun somehow. Yeah, look at all of the tiny gold color details on her outfit. I love that. And that suitcase is a nice bonus. Here we have Jusenki L Game Gohalesi. Like, how do I pronounce that? No idea what is this thing. Fixoku, your journalist should really invest in a good camera. But if you already have one, then invest in the flash. Seriously. Or at least a constant LED light. This is way too dark. Yeah, this is a brighter picture. I think someone else took the picture and then they brightened it in editing. Yeah, the image looks washed out. And this is from Hobby Dengeki. It is also very likely that the event grounds, the display area is very dark as well. Bad lighting over there. Next up, we have Marin Kitagawa. This is a bit disappointing. Like, she is wearing swimsuit underneath, one-piece swimsuit, and lifting up her skirt. Like, this feels low effort to me, right? The pose is also very bland, very boring, and her legs are unnaturally straight. Yeah, something is a bit weird about the body proportions of this figure. I think the waist region is a bit too short. It almost feels like she has very long legs, and right above her legs you get her oppai. There is no stomach, no abdomen, right? The proportion is very off over here. It looks funny to me. I can't recommend this one. I hope they fix it. And the last figure for today would be Fern from So No Freerun. Yeah, Q-Skill did not have much stuff on display in this event. And for this character, you have options from Kotobukiya or Good Smile Company. So this one is at a bit of a disadvantage because I don't think she looks very good either. More like there is nothing wrong about the figure, just that when you compare the detail department, the paintwork, the pose and everything else, I feel like the existing figures of her by other brands are slightly better. And that is all for the updates from this event. Which figure is something you are keeping an eye on? Let me know down in the comments below. And if you found this video to be informative or helpful, once again, please do drop a like for this video and subscribe to this channel for anime figure content every week. Until then, thanks for sticking around and I'll see you soon. Goodbye.